Hello everybody, my name is Nicholas Pudjarminta, and today is episode 1 of this series, and it's all about creating an FPS game inside the Blender game engine. This is using Blender 2.63 right now, and here's an example of a game that I have created. It's not finished yet, but it will give you an idea of something that we will try to do. So we'll be able to move around. We will aim, shoot at an enemy, and which we'll program. It's simple AI, and it will also be triggers like, let's say if you kill this guy, then this bridge will go down, which will let you go across, and you'll kill this guy, and more enemies will appear. So this is quite a long way to go, and it takes quite a while, but first we have to go to episode 1. And what we're gonna do is create our player. So just an idea of what's going on is that everything is sort of fake. So we have this guy as our body trigger. We have a gun. We have numbers over here, which will later be put into our program. We'll put into a script. And we have some lights and a lot of stuff. So let's go to the beginning and restart everything. Okay, so let's get started. You don't need to feel like intimidated because it seems like a lot of work, but eventually it's actually pretty simple. Just need to get through the first few steps. So now we will make our sort of like feet in the game. So with this cube, so let's press S to scale it, 0.5 to make it half the size, and make it go up to the z-axis by z point by 5.5. so let's it's on the floor. Yeah. So we're gonna add a plane as the ground. So this will be our make sure you have this on Blender game, and this is going to be our leg, and it's going to be pretty much all the physics. So we want it to be dynamic. And now let's do Shift S, cursor to selected, so that our cursor thing is to that object. So now if we make an object, it goes there. Now we need to make this is going to be our body. We should label these. So this is going to be our leg trigger. And this is going to be our body trigger. And let's SC2, so that sizes it to 2 to the x-axis. And make this, hold the body and then shift and click the legs and control P, so that whenever this moves the top follows, but if this moves it doesn't. And now we need to create another cube, which is going to be our head, and I believe we can just put it over here. Oh wait, I think it's over here. Yeah, that's where you want to put it. And now click that, shift the body parent, body trigger. Oh, these are all triggers. Well, I call them triggers because they're not actually they're more like sensors, but I'm just gonna call them triggers for now because they're not really a body or a head. They're not head. There we go. So now what we need to do is press Shift S again, cursor to selected. We're gonna create a camera. Actually, we already have one, but I'm just gonna delete that and create a new one. So now we need to rotate this camera so that it's looking in that direction. Or wait, local axes. Yeah, this direction. And just want to make it look straight like that. And go to the camera options, change the vocal length to 22. And now, because we're going to use a mouse look strip, we need to make sure that the local axis of this cube is same as the camera. So the Z axis has to be pointed backwards, so we're going to rotate this to the Y axis by -90 degrees. And then we need to rotate this to the local Z axis by 9 degrees. Oops, I was wrong. you have to spin it to the local Z axis by negative 90 degrees. So now it's the exact same thing. Now you make a parent to that head trigger. And this is the eyes. It's pretty much going to be our eyes. Now we need to import a gun. So I'm going to put a link in the description to a model that I animated. But you can just take it off right away. M4 RAS. I don't know if your computer will be like strong enough to play this, because this is actually a really heavy model, which I didn't realize I made, and it has an insane amount of vertices. But I'm going to also put an M4, which is much smaller. But so if your computer is slow, you can just drag that in. It's pretty much the same thing, except it's a bit less poly, because I did not realize that game engines, you don't want high poly objects in them, but my computer is strong enough to play it, so I'm just going to do it anyways. So we want to position it to the camera, and that looks pretty good. Now we want our gun to be parented to the head, not the camera. And now we need to add a mouse look script. So what we want to do is click the cube and split this in half using a triangle so that we can have another window. And now we want to go to the text editor, and I'll also have this in the description with a download of mouse look. I need to look for it here. I have a notepad. I don't know if you can see this. Just copy everything in the text document and create a new text, copy and paste. So you paste everything in that text document. So now call this mouse look, and we want to divide this one more time. Okay, if you happen to have two screens on your computer, you can hold shift and press this triangle, and it'll create another window, and you'll be able to use two screens at once, and it will update in real time, and it's really useful, and that's what I usually do. But I can't screen record two screens, so right now I'm just going to be using one. So what we need to do is go to Logic Editor and do put our sensor mouse and do movement, and this is going to be called mouse look. Mouse look, and do Python mouse look, connect the two, and I believe this should work. You press P to test it out. Yes, it works. So now if you're to play this, what happens is that you can use your mouse to look around, and it works fine, except wait, this gun looks really off. I just realized that it needs to be way further in front. Oh yeah, also I forgot to do one thing. With our gun, press Control Shift Alt C to geometry, so then it's just like our position of the pivot point is in the center. That for the ammo also. And the ammo, you want it to press Alt P, clear parent, clear the parent, but keep the thing. I don't know what it's called. Wait, keep transformation, because I actually don't want it to be following the head. Instead, I want this to parent the gun. Control P that. How the gun moves, that happens. If this moves, everything moves. So that's a good rigging system. So now we need to position it a bit better, because it looked really ugly just now. And now all we need to do is make the gun shoot. And the way we're gonna do that is, I'm gonna join these area by right click this, join area, and wait, that's not right. Wait, join area. That was weird. Oh well, I'm just gonna go like that. It's glitchy. Anyways, on continuing on, we need to make this shoot. So first we're gonna animate the gun shooting. And before we do that, we want to make sure that our animation is going 60 frames per second. So go to Blender Render and go to the render options. I think that's render options. And frame rate, make it 60. Now go back to Blender Game and put a keyframe pressing I, lock rot scale, and now go back 5 frames or maybe 6. I think 6 would be good, and position the gun a bit back so it's like that. Now if we press 6 over here and we can try it out. Wait, this is going half. Frame rate's really low right now. Maybe it's because of this extremely high poly object. Not so sure why. Normally it's fast. I'm gonna try doing something over here. Oh, then again, no, that's because it's in the preview. When you're playing the game, it should be full speed. But now, I actually program the gun to actually shoot instead of just make a cool animation. So just click the guns and do cursor to selected so that we can have, when we create an object, it's to the gun. We just want to make a cube, zoom into it, and we want to make it small and in front of the gun, like that. Position it there. And now we need to go to layer 2 by pressing 2 and press shift A, make a sphere, go to the top, and now rotate this to the x-axis by 90 degrees and press B to box select those vertices, and wait, whoops, B to select those, and then press S to the y-axis. So this is actually global, not, yeah, it should be global. So we just need to like shrink it to the y-axis until it's like aligned. So what we did is that it's like that. And now we just want to size it up to the y-axis so it looks like a bullet. This is the easiest way to make a simple bullet. And now going back to our first scene, we want to go to our logic bricks and create a sensor called mouse, and press this button right here and make the frequency to 6, so it happens every 6 frames, I believe. And this is going to be shoot, and what you want to make the actuator is a edit object. So you want to add the wait, we need to name it first. Go back to second scene and rename sphere to bullet, so that when you go back to our scene 1, you can do add bullet. And now let's go back to scene 2. And now one more thing we have to do is that add our sensor for the bullet, which is an always, and make this motion. So that's the movement. Click this button right there and add a motion, and make it to, oh yeah, first we need to go to our physics panel, make this dynamic. It's really important we do that. And increase this to the y-axis. Wait, no, we don't want to do that. We want to go to our dynamic object settings and make it linear velocity to, I think, 70. Oh, and also we need to make this much smaller. And connect these together. And let's try that. Maybe it needs to be smaller and maybe faster. Make 150. Yeah, that looks right. So now let's go back to scene 1, to our camera view, and our square right here. We need to make this no collision. That's really important we do that. And left button, edit, add bullet to the scene. And let's try that out. So if we press play, wait, we need to first click the box and click the gun and press Ctrl P to parent it, so that whenever the gun moves, the cube follows. And let's try this out. So if you left button, oh, that's like shooting in the wrong way. Because our local axes, I think, wait, yeah, the y-axis I believe has to be pointing forward. So let's rotate that until it's like that. Oh wait, that's weird. Or was it the z-axis? Oh, I see what's happened. The local axis for the bullet is wrong. So what we need to do is select all our vertices over here, rotate them by -90 degrees, and press Ctrl Shift Alt C, geometry to origin, and now our local axis is like to the y-axis. Rotate that 90 degrees, go back to scene 1. And it's still glitchy because I think I rotated this. So rotate that back to 90 degrees. Hopefully this works. And I have no idea what's going on. It's going way too fast for us to see what's going on. Yeah, make it 50 for now, just so that we can see what's going on. And for some reason it's going sideways. It's not right. We add bullet. This is going to the y-axis. Oh, we need to press local over here. That's what I forgot. And our linear velocity, we have to put local at the side. So now, if we play this, it's going backwards. So many glitches. Yeah, just rotate the cube 180 degrees. That should make this right. Yes, finally. Now we can have the gun shooting. Now, with the cube selected, shift and right click the gun. And now with the gun, with the mesh, we might want to name this gun. So our gun, we want to add an action, play mesh action. If you called it gun before you did all the keyframes, then it will be called gun. But I forgot to do that, so it's now called mesh action. And make the start 0 and the end 6. And this is called shoot animation. So if you're to play this, the gun would move, and yeah. But one thing, I think this is wrong. Press Alt P, clear the parent, and make this parent to the head, because the gun moves sometimes and it's not right. It's better if you do it like this. So now that looks sort of right. The gun animation is too long. Let's make it 3 frames. Let's try this now. Yeah, that looks right. Except in frame 3 we need to make it a bit further back. So there. That looks pretty good. Now we just need to click the cube and make it invisible. And now if we play, that's pretty good now. It looks pretty right. And that's the end of episode 1 of our game series. In our next episode, we're gonna learn how to make an ammunition bar and how to aim and all that fun stuff. And eventually, we're gonna do AI, which is pretty complicated. Thanks everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you liked it, please give it a like or share. And please subscribe so that you can stay in tune with my later on tutorials, which will be coming. And thanks again.